The top seeds, the red jerseys, have been dropping like flies here in Fiji. Adrian Buchan's going to try and get the red jerseys back on top coming into these final couple of heats. Jack Freestone, obviously one of the real big movers after the Brazil event. He put together one of the better heat score totals for a surfer that failed to progress directly through to round 3. And while we were away, Ross, he had this.
Pretty impressive, actually, for one of the surfers that did not advance out of round 1. He had his Ginsu knife out. Always known to be fast, fluid, stylish, and right there, that is on display again, once again from Ace. Beautiful snap into a nice, tidy little tube right there on the rocks. Not a bad start for Ace Buckan. I have a sneaky suspicion, though, that Jack Freestone is going to put together a couple of big scores in his heat.
Whoa.
Really cool barrel right there as he slid through. Kind of using his rear end there to slow down and kind of regain direction. About 145, I think, right around 140, the tide bottomed out. So now that it's coming back in, the wave should get more consistent.
Here goes Freestone up into this first section. Wants to keep that down the line flow. So kept his tail engaged through these first few turns. Now the wave steepens up. Did well to squeeze all those moves into that ride. Didn't really have that one huge knockout maneuver. He climbs on the ski. He'll head back to the takeoff zone. Here's the replay.
Trying to find the pace of the wave. Nice little snap there. Slightly behind, so he had to pause for a moment in the action. Now he's reconnecting with the face of the wave. This is the best turn right here. Nice little hook right in the pocket as he free falls through that tight transition. Pretty nice way to finish that wave. Looking from the other angle, Ronnie. Again, the only bummer for Jack is he had to reconnect with the face of the wave. It took him a minute to get back out into the open. So it's just going to be an average score, but again, nice commitment to that last turn. Surfers rep, cares a lot about the status of the surfers on tour.
And here he goes, using his priority on this one, straight into the barrel, just anchoring, using that inside wall to really maximize his time behind the curtain. And there he is, whipping that board through some of those turns as he brings it through to the inside. So Jack's wave finished with a little bit more height in the wall, allowing him to let go of some bigger turns. Ace has tapered off, but he got the tube at the start.
It's almost like Jordy Smith yesterday set that tone. If you can hit that closeout, they really reward you heavily. Just a nice little cover up, but not a crazy barrel. Beautiful swooping cutback there. Just caught a little bit of an edge on that third maneuver, so I wouldn't be surprised if this falls short of Jack's number.
All the points were really in the tube in that first move, weren't they? He didn't really add too much on maneuver 3 and 4, but here's the replay of the pit. Stalling with that left arm.
Straight away. He made that look really easy. You could see so much from this angle looking in. He didn't have much time. How nimble was he? As soon as he stood up and got to his feet, he tucked right under the lip. He's going to really separate himself even more than he already has.
Movement in the lineup here. Adrian Buckan perhaps selling this ride to Jack Freestone, who uses priority. A little caught behind here and gets tangled up on that backside floater.
Very straight angle on that swell, so nearly a closeout. The price you pay for surfing with these kinds of waves.
Well, most of the competitors on the championship tour do. Jack Freestone, he's a newcomer to the islands here, and at the moment he's trying to chip away on a very average wave, looking for a 7.02. He quickly realizes it's not going to be enough, and he looks hungry for it. He's going to swing, looking to improve now on a 6.67. Generates quite a bit of speed for this first turn. Just a clean hack off the top. A bit more vertical on the second maneuver, but runs out of room and pulls through the back. Probably won't improve on the 6.67 with just over 13.5 minutes remaining. Like he's in maybe career best form at the moment. Just everything is so well placed. Didn't catch any rails through this carb.
Yeah, setup turn right there, but you can see the spray out the back. This is the money turn though right there. Vertical, punches right through the roof. So 2 smooth maneuvers here. Different though, this one is a carve. cuts it back there, kept a lot of flow using that rail. Now in more of a punch right through the lip. But you can see just how aggressive that wave was as it broke on the low tide reef.
You know, there was a bit of banter with the coach and then, you know, in between each other, but it just came right down to it. This kid was finding the groove, found some rhythm, got a couple of really great little waves, and you know what? Performed on him. He did step up, and he's got some game. I saw him doing the free surfs looking really good, and rolling that into heats. That's a scary thing when you surf out in the free surf that good, and you bring it to a heat like he did.
Remember, Sebastian Zietz had reached the quarterfinals in the past year at Fiji, and we're thinking, okay, he's on fire, everything's going his way this season. Not the case in this matchup. Kanoa kept on selecting the right rides. He even just had a better competitive headspace against Sebastian Zietz in this matchup.
Yeah, such a, you know, Seabass said it after the heat. You know, he's kind of learning as he goes along and gaining momentum, and he really is growing up on tour. And right in front of us, he's just excelling so fast. So it's great to see a young, you know, rookie coming on tour and looking that good.
Kanoa taking out Seabass out of the contest, and then we saw more top seeds go down. Kolohe and Dino looked really sharp. Josh Kerr demanded the opening exchange, and he was able to take over one of the best heats of his season so far in 2016.
Yeah, a couple sleepy calls might have woke up this man right here, Josh Kerr, because there was a few comments that went down, you know, that said, look, you're looking a little sleepy. This man, though, on point, looking fast, looking good, picking out some great waves, nice surfing, but you know what? Came up a little short in the end, so unfortunately, Kolohe bowing out.
And Dino final on the Gold Coast. He's been suffering losses by the smallest margin. Seabass at Bells was just such a close decision. Another one back in Rio, which was decided on the sand, and now a hard one to walk away from. Ooh. And Dino's so powerful. Josh Kerr, though, picking the right waves, and that's what he said was the difference. Being on the sets, moving on into round 3. Then we saw Michel Perez take on Stu Kennedy.
Yeah, well, you know what? The Spartan looking strong. Look at this guy. He had a good time out there. He's just up into the bowl, springy. You know, he loves open face waves. He's got a good reef game and a lot of power in there. That looked like it hurt, though. I mean, it's just right onto the dry reef.
That was really the key wave for the Spartan. That was the first start, a 7.33 to show the power. Then you look at the waves that Stu had. A little bit more gutless. He always has a smooth rhythm and flow, but was left chasing Michel Perez throughout this entire matchup.
Yeah, and it looked like he was chasing the wave itself. Unfortunately, not getting out in front of it to open up. And, you know, the Spartan kind of cleaning up behind him, using priority, finding what he needed to have. Really hard to find the waves out there. I mean, you could be up the reef so quick, and obviously really riled up, upset Kennedy in that heat coming off with another loss. It's not fun.
Just over 4 minutes to go, though. Adrian Buchan looking pretty good at this point in time, and he is swinging on this one. Let's have a look at it. Driving up into that first section and just gets caught up. You can see that wind was howling then, Ross.
It really was. So Jack already had priority. He let that wave go, and I think that was a good idea. As you can see, that wave ran out of energy right there. It didn't really have what it needed to get that 7.02. He doesn't see anything, and there's the handshake.
And Adrian's for sure saying, hey, mate, sorry about that. Not the way I wanted to win, but I will take it.
Yeah.
And I'll be moving through to round 3. Thank you very much. Jack Freestone, though, not a bad effort, Ross, all things considered. I think it was a little bit like Sebastian Zietz's heat. It did slow up a little bit. Opportunities were limited.